Yo, this is Emily. We never left, but we better than ever, still nowhere near our prime. Today we're gonna get into some uncomfortable topics about our defining moment and who we are as an individual. After this video, you will be able to determine and identify your defining moments, whether that comes from defeat, humiliation, or triumph. We're gonna get down to the nitty and gritty. Let's get it. What is a defining quality and what makes a defining moment? My objective in this video is to be able to pick your brain enough so you can dig deep and understand who you are and what defining moments made you who you are today. Some of my defining moments come from very humiliating moments, moments of defeat. I didn't understand why I was going through these trials so much. Why was I outputting something completely different than what I was receiving? And I had to understand every single time that humiliation struck, every time that I fell to my knees in defeat, that was the level up. That was the moment of destroying parts and pieces of my ego to assist me in the next level that I was not prepared for before that, right? So when you think about your defining moments, where does that lie? Does that lie when you was a child, a teenager, getting into your adulthood? When was it that you understand that your values differed from the people around you, your peers and your family? You know, the people that you surrounded yourself with, or maybe you was forced to be around, such as high school or in your own household. I realized my values differed after I got out of high school. When I started barber school, I realized that the people around me did not have the same ambition as me, did not have the same passion as me. That wasn't the same concept. We had a different perception of where we wanted our lives to go, and that's okay. But that let me understand that I have to distance myself from these people and surround myself with mentors. My character had to be aligned with these people in order for me to have a relationship with this person, and I wouldn't accept anything less. And therefore, I am here where I am today, and I'm nowhere near where I'll be tomorrow, and so on and so forth. Swinging the ball, and I get it, and then I crossed the girl and took her ankles, and then I passed it in for the assist and won. You feel me? So it was like a super high. Feel me? We're lit. We're lit. So we're lining up at the line, right? And one of her teammates like shoves me, and I turn around and like kind of go to shove her back, but like as soon as I turn around, she already had her shit all the way cocked back and punched me. And my lip, my tooth had cut through my lip, and I had to get 7 stitches that night. 4 on the outside and 3 on the inside, on the very corner of my lip. I didn't never said a word to this girl, you feel me? Like later on, realizing like, bro, she was getting kicked out of schools for fighting. She had fought like 4 different girls that same month.
Yeah, that's what she do.
You feel me? And I actually have empathy towards her for some weird reason. You feel me? Like,
because it wasn't nothing personal.
Yeah.
She would have did that to anybody.
Anybody. And that was like a revelation of like, it's time to level up, you feel me? Another humiliating moment. High school graduation, bro. We pull up to high school graduation, I'm outside, and my little sister is 3 at the time, or about to be 3 that year. And my mom's like, oh, just take a picture with the cap and gown, like take a picture with her. And I was like, man, we already late, like I just wanna go inside. She's like, just take a picture. And I pick up my little sister and I see like she's drooling. She's a 3-year-old, she's not a 6-month-old. And I was like, why are you drooling so much? She was salivated because she just got car sick. She threw up all over me. So all through the gown, like I'm talking about stinky ass throw up, bro. And she's crying cause like I'm frustrated. I'm like, yo, like, and my mom's like, I'm gonna just go back inside. Like I'm gonna see if they have another cape. You know damn well we pre-ordered those capes months, like a year in advance, you feel me? So I'm like, I just went home, you feel me? And I picked up my diploma from the school like a week later, or whatever the case was. And you know, not going to prom, not doing no homecoming shits, not being able to walk the stage, you feel me? My moms didn't come with me for my senior pictures, I just went solo. All these moments leading up. And the graduation, when my sister threw up on me, I knew at that point, bro, all this high school shit, it's gotta go in the past. Like, it's really time, like, you really gotta just push that shit away. Like, for real, like, understand why this shit happened, because you need, bro, all this high school shit, all these little friends that you think you have, like, what you think you don't know shit. And boom, I had moved up with my mom to Lake Park, 30 minutes away from everybody, no car, part-time at McDonald's, never cut hair before, boom, barber school a minute away. I was like, bet, I'm gonna sign up. Bro, even my first week in a barbershop, bro. And this dude comes in, and he was like foreign. I don't know where he was from, somewhere in Europe or some shit. And he was like, I want a 5 on the top and a 2 on the sides or some shit like that. I was like, okay, but I could tell like he was mad nervous, but bitch, I'm nervous too. Like, I know how to do a 5 on the top and a 2 on the sides, but you're nervous and I'm nervous because I just started. But I put a 6 on it just because I was like, I feel like, you know, he don't know what he's talking about. Bro, when I tell you I went, and he got up from the chair, took the comb out of my hand, and started flipping out, talking about I fucked his hair up, and literally I'm just like, bro, like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, and he's like, nah, bro, I literally just walked out. He's in my cave, in the chair, like, all that shit, and I walked out, bro. I went and cried in the car. I'm like, bro, like, why did somebody treat you like that, you feel me? It's like all these, you know, humiliations, getting jumped, defending somebody who I could barely call a friend, who was not a friend. My sacrifices are not for the people who don't love me unconditionally, for real. Like, you feel me, that don't feed me, all these one-sided relationships, because I know I can benefit a lot of people and they can't reciprocate that at all. I'm plenty for them, but they're not enough for me, you feel me? And it's like in those moments where I'm like feeling liberated after the fact, because I'm like, bro, I understand why this had to happen. I don't know if the rest of my life is gonna pan out that way, where it's like I have to go through these huge revelations to level up. I don't know if that's what it's gotta be. Like if that's my purpose and how I gotta get through shit, then I know that God gave me the strength to be able to do that. Like, you feel me? Some peaceful shit, I would rather.
I'm a big, because I know one thing about me is I learned a lot when I started coming to this gardening shit. Because that's the principle of life. I don't know what nobody's saying. If you plant a seed and you treat it right, it's gonna grow. If it is in the wrong environment, that motherfucker's gonna die. Right? The fruit that comes from the tree or the plant is made from the nutrients of its environment.
Bro, you should come over here.
Well,
You should come sit over here. We're gonna get a glimpse into another creative, well-respected, you feel me? This my dog Xeno. He gonna give you a little rundown of the real. So yeah.
all right, bet. I appreciate you having me on here, for sure. Yeah, my name's Zeno. I go by Zeno. I'm a Renaissance man, first of all, but I make music. Went to school at Ft.Xeno University for audio engineering. So, you know, dabble in the creativity, just the overall creative mainly. But yeah, definitely excited to chop it up. Rolling dice kind of sticks to is the fact that if you surround yourself around something, it's actually called epigenetics. So if you surround yourself around a specific stimulus or stimuli, you're going to respond that way. That's how we evolve. If you hit the ground and you scrape yourself up, you're going to callus up in that manner. You were saying that you didn't know if you could rock with a certain thing. And I think it was kind of like along the lines of, why should you be stressed? Why should you be receiving the brunt of stress if that's taking your peace when you're not trying to provide stress for others type feeling? And I feel you on that. That's why I'm not around a lot of motherfuckers. But at the same time, I do look at it in the manner of the things I do out of the strength that I provide. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of motherfuckers walking around here right now that started businesses and everything, right? And will claim that it had no parts to do with me. But I know where my influence lied. And the thing is that I didn't do it for that recognition. So motherfuckers can walk around this earth hating me, but understanding the positive influence that I've had on people is gonna always give me a bigger benefit because I've created an environment for growth. During the whole little interaction with certain things, it might be like, God damn, I'm stressed right now. It don't feel good. I'm not like appreciating the situation too much, but at the same time, and this was the point I was getting at, is when you start gardening, if you plant a seed, if you have this seed grow in this perfect environment, the moment a storm comes, it's dying immediately. It got no strength, none. It's just growing off of no stressors. There's no issues it had to deal with coming up. No, none of that. So the moment a little bit of turbulence come through, what? It's acting like this goddamn Armageddon and it's a tropical motherfucking storm. You know what I'm saying? We got to be able to appreciate the stressing things because as a child, if you're learning how to walk and you're not pushed around, you ain't gonna have no feet under you. You're not gonna know how to stay balanced and really handle the situations you need to do getting from A to B. So you really gotta just take care of the environment and the stuff around you. You know what I'm saying?
So in your experiences, what do you feel like are some of your most defining moments that then turned into defining qualities?
I've had a decent amount in my life, to be honest with you. When I was younger, I grew up a people pleaser, and I didn't really have too much of my own personality. I was kind of looking for validation everywhere I went. It allowed me to understand different perceptions, and like I could speak to you and understand where you're coming from, but my psyche would make me try to please you rather than be myself. Growing up, like my father was incarcerated, so during that time, I didn't even have my father around teaching me any real male leadership or anything like that. I didn't know how to like present my masculinity, and I'm growing up as a jit. I'm like probably around 11, 12, 13 at this time, not understanding how I'm really supposed to be moving. And just being able to look at different situations in a light where it's in an understanding manner did leave me with is one moment, because now I started to understand things and I started to take people into consideration, but I didn't really know how to stand up for myself or really hold my own. You know what I mean? So it kind of was a little bit more of like social finesse to keep myself out of situations rather than being like a stand-up dude. But then as I started growing up, and I started probably around the time I started making music, like sophomore year in high school, the little bits of things that I do as a person turn into little moments of strength. And expressing that is difficult at first, but the more different you are, or the route that you take to a destination is different than anybody else's. And you should be proud of that because you got to the destination. Motherfuckers is not going off road, or even if we is going off road, I ain't gotta take the same trail all these other motherfuckers is taking. You know what I'm saying? You really fall into your own after a certain amount of time. My life has kind of had a reoccurring thing of like abandonment. You know what I mean? So just from growing up and family stuff, I ain't never really have too close of a relationship with my siblings and stuff like that. So I even find it like, shit, me and you be locked in, but at the same time, I know we'll go months without talking, you know what I mean? But we know it's no love lost or anything like that. And I think that just kind of comes from a point of not really having that camaraderie within my family. So it's hard to extend that to people that I don't even have as blood. But at the same time, I keep it where it's no love lost, so I'm gonna pick right back up where I left off. Things like that have really defined me also, because shit, during certain situations, I'm not supposed to be locked in with everybody. Like you said, you gotta protect that energy. You can't give everybody everything, especially when they come in to take.
You said like a reoccurring feeling was abandonment. Like, is there any other feeling like attached to that? Like you felt like was reoccurring?
It was kind of like a confusion, not wanting to deal with it, but not wanting to lose it. Like I hated to care type thing. So it was like I cared so much, but at the same time, it was like, why am I gonna care about something that necessarily wouldn't care about me? And that's where I just kind of had to grow up in the sense of like, this is who I am. If I want to care about something, they can hate my guts, but I'm always just gonna care just because that's how I move. Overwhelming of like almost nurturing. Not everything needs that. Yeah, growing plants, growing businesses, growing people, all that. It's a mind thing. It's a perception. We're not meant to stay stagnant. You staying still and you're not doing nothing. You know, shoot. Our bodies function like pumps. Our blood flows through us. Shoot, I think it's like your blood flow in your body is moving at like thousands of miles an hour. Niggas don't even realize that. You got like your blood pressure. There's some pressure in that bit, like for real. Like people are out here moving, but we don't really understand these little systems that are in place. So like there's energy in us. That's life force right there.
So what's your take on systems?
I take on systems. Man, systems are everywhere. Everybody's a part of a system. It just so happens that a lot of people aren't a part of a system that's meant for them. And there really won't be a system meant for you until you decide to create your own. A system is heaven or hell, for real, simply. It's what you decide your environment is. Shit, we learned in school, input-output machines. What you put in is what you're gonna get out. And the process that you apply in the middle of that is how it's gonna modify your outcome. So depending on how you want your outcome to happen, you gotta find the right resources, apply it to the right environment and the right influences, and the outcome should be exactly what you planned for. But I know we was talking with Zeus earlier, And shit, we was saying that there's no luck. Everything is just outcome meeting. It's preparedness meeting opportunity. You just got to be ready for the opportunity when it comes into your face. And at that point, you'll feel lucky because you're ready. The system is gonna make sure you're ready.
I just want to show gratitude. Thank you for everybody who's watching. Thank you to Zeus behind the camera. Thank you to my dog Xeno for, you feel me, sharing a piece that he didn't have to, sharing that vulnerability for not only me, but you as well. And the way I want to leave this off on is I want to give you some homework. I'm not checking it, but I want you to check yourself. You feel me? Write down, what are some of your defining moments? What are the things that, you know, made you who you are today? What are those feelings of insecurities and all that good stuff? Bring that out and expose it and bring it to the light, because then it will no longer be a darkness inside of you. So write it down, jot it down, chop it up with somebody. Even if you feel like they're not gonna be receptive at first, sometimes the question is bigger than the answer. So even though they may not have an answer for you, you're unlocking another level inside their mind. You're planting a seed inside their mind. You feel me? Sometimes the question is deeper than the answer. You feel me? Sometimes that journey of finding the answer is way deeper than the answer itself. So thank y'all. We're gonna be back soon with another video on God.